Terrarian in the Dungeon, Chapter 57, Fan Fiction, by Azazyel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for listening and patreon.com/Azazyel to read all of his stories. The following day I was awoken at the damned crack of dawn by Belle gently nudging me awake. "Jake, you've got to wake up for the wargame. Come on, I made you breakfast and a lunch to go." Belle spoke softly, making me groan, but I nonetheless opened my eyes to Belle's encouragement. Belle was leaning over me, wearing a loose, large dress shirt that hung down on her shoulders, a tight-fitting apron, and some slightly tanned shorts that almost matched her skin tone, that made it look like she wasn't even wearing shorts. "Come on, Jake, you are going to be late." Belle chided me as I rolled up out of bed while yawning and rubbing my eyes. All right, Belle, I am up. Let me get washed so I can get ready for today," I said, patting Belle on the head as I stood up to stretch, and as Belle hurried out of the room to take care of getting properly dressed herself. Once I got all my tribulations of the day dealt with, I yawned as I exited the bathroom to go to the kitchen and eat a hearty breakfast made by Belle, who blushed in happiness at my joy at her meal. "Here, Jake. I made you lunch for today, and Beatrice and Hestia helped make meals for you to keep in your pocket space, so you don't have to worry about actually cooking. You just got to reheat the dinners, and the rest of the meals are sandwiches and other simple stuff." Belle explained, all but hovering and fretting for me as I was going to be doing the wargame on my own. "Don't worry, Belle, I got a plan." I soothed the bunny and even leaned in to give Belle a quick hug before I separated from her to give her a quick kiss on the forehead, which made her squawk in outrage at my surprise attack. As I separated from Belle, I poked her cheek. "All right, Belle, I am leaving the safety of my goddess in your hands, so keep the weirdos away from her," I said wryly as I still was worrying about what in the world Phyllis wanted and what Seshet saw in her soul as she inscribed the Fauna upon her along with her weird fate sight stuff she kept from me. Belle just hugged her head into my chest, silently giving her own support to me, leaving me to only pat her soft white hair as I introspectively thought about how weird my life had become. I had gone from a Midwestern American whose only experience with the violence that was so common in Orario was smacking other people my age with sticks and video games, which did little to prepare me for the sight of people being mulched by monsters, even if the experience I had as the stick-swinging king of my childhood did actually help me a bit in fighting other adventurers. But the realization that the people I saw mulched under monsters affected me more than the people I killed with my own hands had filled my thoughts after the Evelus attack, hence why I didn't want to slaughter the Apollo Familia. I may have come from Earth, and maybe it was stupid or weak of me, but I was proud of my still mostly intact morals, and I refused to be some psychopath that just kills or tortures anyone who irritates me. But being a proud American, I am a firm believer of lethal self-defense, so if someone actually messes with me or mine, I will shoot them in the face with an actual shotgun, I thought as I broke the hug between me and Belle as I smiled at her. "Okay, Belle, I am going to raid the storage facility for metal and stuff. Don't tell Seshet till after I leave," I pleaded, putting my hands together in a prayer in front of Belle, who giggled at the sight. "Fine, just hurry up and get going. Beatrice will probably get up soon. Good luck and be safe, Jake," Belle said finally as I left the room to loot the storage room of stuff before I left the tower and property to head to the designated spot. I was to be handed the flag. A long while later, as I dealt with the guild and Ganesha members guarding the gates to Orario, I then, for the first time in this life, left the city and headed south of Orario quickly in case there were Evelus members in wait for me. But luckily there was nothing and no one on the lonely roads leading to Orario that bothered me other than a random squad of surface goblins that broke through the forest I was traveling through to attack me. "God, you guys are so weak," I muttered as I finished killing the surface goblins with my teardrop cleaver. Not only were they trash mobs, but with them being merely surface monsters, they were half as strong without the dungeon fueling them with a monster stone. That and level 1 monsters that weren't an aberrant class of its race were a joke in of itself nowadays, as the adventurers of Orario had adapted to the new monster variants. Finally, after another half an hour of traveling, I found the castle I was supposed to defend, with a kiosk lit up with several torches and a Ganesha Familia member standing outside the kiosk guarding the guild member, obviously waiting for me to hand me the flag or whatever. As I approached, I saw the Ganesha adventurer nod to me, and I couldn't really recognize the lion beastkin dude, but just because I didn't know him didn't mean I was going to be rude or whatever. "Hey, I am Jake of the Seshet Familia. Can I talk to the guild person?" I announced myself with the man, raising an eyebrow. "I recognize you. And that weird as hell glowing armor and the fleshy sword is good enough proof that you are who you say you are. Anyway, go ahead, my name is Blaine, and several Ganesha members are in the area to make sure Evelus don't do anything stupid like ruin the wargame, so don't attack people wearing bright orange clothes like mine." Blaine warned me, and I nodded while taking in the disgusting combo of bright orange pants and a jacket the lion man was wearing. Jake, get on in here. You can gawk at their stupid clothes later. I heard a woman yell, and as I entered the tent while the Ganesha member cursed his god for making the uniform so neon damned orange. As I walked into the tent, I saw a familiar half-elf sorting out a couple of papers, who wryly smiled seeing me enter. Hello, Ina, how have you been? I asked politely as Ina shrugged. Oh, trying to keep Belle from killing herself in the dungeon. At least she doesn't bring me the stress of having a whole other familia breathing down the solitary member in the adventurous familia I am guiding. Rose is pissed at you for that, by the way. Ina told me matter-of-factly as she stacked her paperwork. Right. I stretched out the word before I continued. So, what's the rules and how much can I cheat? I asked directly, making Ina roll her eyes. There is typically no cheating in a wargame. Well, normally, anyway, for this event there are 2 rules. The flag must be in clear view, she said, making quotations or the clear view part as she looked at the large golden flag embroidered with glowing golden threads. And lastly, you cannot summon a monster Rex, or more specifically, you cannot summon any monster you do not have control of. Ina finished before yawning. Now I have been here already for an hour waiting to give this message, so when the guards rotate, I will be going home for a nice, pleasant nap before going back to work at the guild. Do you have any questions? Ina asked, and I firmly shook my head as I smiled. Nope. No questions at all, Ina. You have a pleasant nap. I know I am going to later as well. I said in a friendly manner, making her blink in surprise, as I whisked away the flag and all but pranced away as I realized the gods of Orario are still dumbass. For all that they focused on my making of scary-ass monsters, they neglected to remember everything I make is literally unbreakable without a Terraria pickaxe/axe, which I have made sure to never give to anyone. And in a defense-style wargame. I am going to live a comfortable next 3 days without needing to fight a single damned battle.